The Rising of the Shield Hero, Volume 6, Chapter 142. The Day the Game Ended. After returning from Calmira and returning to the castle... Oh, he was in Calmira. Okay. The party managed to successfully defend against the wave of another country without issue. After that, will we be heading back to Melramark's castle after this? Wait. Oh, this is... yeah. This is from the... This is in the past, and from the perspective of Moriyasu, I guess. Doesn't really explain that, but that's where we're at. No, there's somewhere I want to stop. I want to stop to power up first. What do you mean? And like that, Moriyasu took a detour and traveled to the town where Spirit Turtle was resting. It'll be fine if we're over level 60, and the materials and weapons that drop off with that guy that sleeps are amazing. That extremely light attitude, Moriyasu steps into the abandoned temple of the Spirit Turtle's town. He's been too easygoing. Though it's been abandoned, it's usually under surveillance by some monks. For some reason, Moriyasu knew all the traps and puzzles in the temple and solved them with ease. Elena wasn't really watching too closely, so she isn't knowledgeable about how he did it. So Moriyasu solved all the puzzles. Oh, right, because she's telling him about... Oh, da. Of course. Oi, what do you think you're doing? As... I don't know why. That's kind of a weird way of saying that. What are you doing? As they were... See, I gotta make it fun for myself. As they were holding weapons, we assumed that they weren't simple residents of the temple. You're being... Oh, I guess if this is Elena telling the story, I should narrate in Elena voice, which isn't really anything. It's just... You're being quite rude. The one who stands before you is none other than the Hero of the Spear, Moriyasu-sama, you know? Bitch goes ahead and names us. Wow, the Hero of the Spear? Sorry for the intrusion. There's just a little event I have to go and clear, you see. I sure am unlucky today to have a hero invade this place as well. Those words left a great impression on Elena. Invade. So someone's causing a commotion at somewhere other than this. Looking back on it, it was most likely Ren or Itsuki's party. Anyways, hurry and get out of here. I won't be doing that. If I don't defeat the boss here, then something bad will happen later. And Moriyasu casually destroys the statue. How could you? The monks are enraged. Well, if someone claiming to be a hero intrudes on a historic place and really destroys an ancient artifact, then I guess anyone would be mad. Now then, to defeat the boss. Nothing's happening. Anyways, could you please come with us? Monks try to apprehend Moriyasu and party. Insolent peasants! Bitch cries out. Moriyasu looks confused at her outburst and restrains her. He begins to explain his intentions. I was under the impression that the statue was a seal, and if I didn't hurry, something bad would... And then the ground began to shake. What is it now? Yeah, it's finally showed up! Moriyasu starts running out of the temple, but those tremors had been the Spirit Turtle standing up from its long rest. The ground beneath us moved, and the entire mountain, town and all lift up. Bitch and Elena were at a loss for words. Okay, this is annoying now. So the ground beneath us moved. So that means it's from the perspective of someone. And then they're saying Bitch and Elena were at a loss for words. So it seems like they're talking from the perspective of Woman 2, talking about Bitch and Elena and Moriyasu, but we're learning this from Elena, so the perspective is really fucked up. Wrong, generally. It may look like that, but his strength is nothing special. Just fight it like usual. Let's go! Yes, here I come! We all began to charge the Spirit Turtle, and that's where everything began to fall apart. Spirit Turtle began summoning familiars and killing innocent people left and right. But ignoring that, Bitch and Moriyasu kept on running. They'll eventually reach the turtle's head. Let's go! Lightning Spear! Moriyasu unleashes a strong move right off the bat, but the turtle lets out a grunt and comes out of the attack with nothing but a scratch. And what's more, that scratch begins to heal in an instant. What the... The Spirit Turtle's familiars swarm us, and we have to drive them off, but at this point, I don't see any way of defeating the turtle. Hey, it can't be. No. Bitch, Elena, and Woman 2 are whispering amongst themselves. They had noticed that the Spirit Turtle had begun walking without minding Moriyasu's attacks. It didn't even consider us as a threat. Back when I fought it, it had been forced to stop and use its strongest attacks, but these people were even troubled by their familiars. I guess it's like stabbing a human with a toothpick. I'm surprised Raftalia and Fyodor were able to wound it to that extent. Okay, everyone, I'm going to try to draw its attention, so cast support magic on me. Moriyasu starts screaming and running towards the beast. It was then that Elena made her decision. She left the party then and there. She left without looking back, abandoning bitch and woman too, and after getting far away from the turtle, she hid until the commotion died down. Then she returned to her parents' home. Her mother was quite happy that she had survived. She told her that being an adventurer was too dangerous, and that she should take on her father's company. Her mother decided that she would talk her father into it. That Elena's safety was their top priority. They used her father's connection to prevent her from being turned into the country and executed. It was negotiated that instead of putting her on trial, they would use her as bait to lure Moriyasu out. If that story is true, then there are several baffling points in it. First of all, what did he mean by, if the boss is defeated, something bad will happen? Was something worse than the turtle itself set to happen? Anyways, it is probably quite impossible to defeat that monster at level 60. This seems to be quite similar to the case with the bioplants. Moriyasu rushed to save a starving village with bioplant seeds, but in the end caused nothing but grief. Isn't this Moriyasu's supposed innocence? Could Moriyasu possibly know anything about the blue hourglass inside the turtle? I also wondered what Ren and Itsuki were doing at the scene. All three of them have knowledge from the games of their world. For all of them to move at once, something important must be happening. The problem is that Moriyasu didn't tell his party much information. Both Ren and Itsuki are having a habit of acting aloof. Their party members probably have very little information as well. There's still too little information for me to make any assumptions. I can't believe he actually started fighting that monster. You know, you're saying that to the person who actually defeated it. Ah, right. So you were the one who defeated it. You really are quite something. To get to this point from the very bottom, I chose the wrong person to follow. And Elena lets out a deep sigh. No. If she was my party member, I would want to smack her. It's surprising that I'm not mad after listening to her for so long. Well, anyways, Moriyasu-sama has given me quite a few goods, and my level did rise thanks to him. I guess I can stand the boring task of doing my father's work for a while. It's gotten quite cold. I thought I would feel warmer when I met that man again. What was that? It seems that Fido has been developing a strange speaking habit as of late. And so that's how it is. If he comes again, I'll report him, but I don't think he'll be coming again. Most likely. By the way, do you have any idea where Bitch may be right now? No idea, but people like her tend to live unnervingly long lives. It will be difficult to capture Moriyasu, and Bitch's whereabouts are unknown, and this one wants nothing to do with the spear anymore. I can imagine the other women saying something like, "We were just following the hero, we had nothing to do with it," or something. They'll probably receive some punishment, but the queen isn't that evil. I understand. Now, you'll have to deal with that annoying ability. Warping. How bothersome. If he can warp, then there's no point in throwing him in prison. If this were a game, we would have to afflict him with silence to seal it off. And we didn't do it continuously. If we didn't do it continuously, he would run off the second it wore off. Judging him, it will be difficult. He occasionally used it. Do you know what sort of skill it is? Let's see. He was able to use it on all members of his party at once without a problem. 4 people at once? Starting to sound like even more of a pain. He might be able to take an entire army regiment with him. There's probably a cooldown time. If we know where it sends him, then... Location. Did he tell you where you could go with it? How should I know? He didn't say that much, but we traveled by carriage quite a bit, so it's not all powerful. Can he warp to any town he's been to before? No, that would be cheating. But by Elena's testimony, it seems the location isn't set. For now, I should report to the Queen. Thanks for your cooperation. It's fine. It's not like... now that I think about it, you started some sort of business, haven't you? I've heard the rumors. Yeah, I need to procure funding in some way. Though it's troublesome, I may start trading with you at some point. Well, that depends on your goods. And you really are quite lazy. I know. I just want to live the easy life. I can't see what Moriyasu saw in this woman. It's the same with Bitch. He's quite an amazing person. From Elder's conversation, Raftalia somehow comes to this conclusion. Don't ever fall for someone like that, Raftalia. I won't. Fido wants to run. What is she saying all of a sudden? Fido's begun acting more oblivious as of late. I guess she's getting bored. Well, see you around. Yeah, goodbye. Elena sighs once more. She sits down at the reception desk with a bored expression. She's really quite an easygoing person. And so I have failed to capture Moriyasu for now. Because he teleported away. So some sort of game knowledge led him to believe that he needed to defeat the boss, but he wasn't ready. But, normally you would just die and then, everything would be fine. But he accidentally unleashed the boss and killed a lot of innocent people. A lot of real people. By normally I meant, if it actually were a game. Which I don't think it is.